the characteristics of good money: scarcity, portability, durability, fungibility, divisibility. For example, metals aren't good money? What is going on? Death of the fiat currency, immutability, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, decentralized finance, DeFi, decentralized apps, DAPPs, blockchain. Okay, I mean, we've gone into buzzword soup. But what does it all mean? Welcome to Curious Tech. And this wouldn't be Curious Tech if we weren't covering the latest tech craze. Blockchain and its family. NFTs, DAPPs, DeFi, immutability, all the things that mean things, the future, join the wave. What's going on here? I won't do these topics justice by just monologuing to you, telling you what I think about them all, and leaving you without much. You know, in Curious Tech fashion, we're going to go on a multi-month journey with a variety of projects, and we're going to try to dig into this world that has grown out of blockchain. I've been following blockchain since around 2011. At the time, I thought it was just this interesting technology, but I didn't fully grasp all the hype. One of the common things that a lot of the people that were telling me about blockchain was about, you know, we can remove the central clearinghouse. We can get rid of the central clearinghouse. It could be a new way of exchanging money. And while a lot of people got interested in blockchain, while Bitcoin has become a household name, it's gone over $60,000 a coin recently, rapid growth over the last decade. The reality here is Bitcoin isn't really set up and hasn't really evolved and doesn't plan to really evolve to solve all of these magical use cases that I was reading about when I first saw Bitcoin. However, a lot has changed. Smart contracts came in. When I saw smart contracts come out, I said, okay, I can see how there's some building blocks for building a new ecosystem, but I don't really see any sample apps. Decentralized Finance, DeFi, Decentralized Apps. I would say we're finally approaching the early ground where we can actually start to visualize, but also touch and feel what this ecosystem could be. The idea of peer-to-peer lending, pool lending, a digital broker without a custodian, so a framework that could allow me to buy and sell. If I have a lot of something, I could be a liquidator or a market maker. If you're looking for someone who's willing to lend to you, they can operate off of your reputation. We can write contracts. The network can build contracts. Whoa, we're entering some really cool spaces. But how does all of this immutability and blockchain and NFTs, how does all that fit in? So in my opinion, I'm really starting to look at a couple of things. There's the whole decentralized apps, decentralized finance, and Web 3.0. And I'd say decentralized apps or DAPPs and Web 3.0 are some immediately interesting components to me. I've been particularly interested in this concept around owning your own content. And we've gone through different ebbs and flows of how much of it has been behind major organizations or corporations and how it's spread out. And right now I see this wild swing towards a lot of the internet starting to be absorbed between these large corporations. You've got things like Facebook, where inherently is interesting, but all of a sudden you've got to have an account with them. You've got to allow them to get access to all of your stuff. They're the arbiter of whether or not your content is good or not, whether or not you should have a page, you shouldn't have a page, right? Your posts aren't really your posts. They're Facebook's posts. Your pictures aren't really your pictures. Like this domain, if you're generating content and you're going viral and they're making money off an advertisement, you're not really getting any, you're not really entitled to any. So there's really this complicated space. You've got even other things like Google AMP, supposed to be streamlining and helping accelerate the internet, but At the same time, they're redirecting requests to your website, to them, serving your content, and operating how they want in the middle. I've had a long time some thoughts around what does it look like to actually build tools that allow individuals like you and me and the rest of the world to stand up our own ecosystem, share some tool and share some resources, but not necessarily give up all of our content to someone else. What does that look like? So this concept around Web 3.0, these concepts around decentralized applications, the building blocks of what that could be, it's definitely a fascinating space. The concept around immutability is really interesting. You do something once, and that thing can't be changed. And if you want a representation of something else, you need a new version of it, and a new version, and a new version. And so now you can see what things look like for all history, because they all are individual. They're all individualized. They're all sequential in a sense, and you can compare and contrast between them. Decentralized apps. We talked about early on seeing blockchain and the stories about, blockchain will replace the centralized clearinghouse. Well, it's not really until we're seeing the decentralized finance space where we're starting to see some of that come to fruition. So there's a lot of concepts here. I'm going to be digging in deep for you guys. I actually recently applied to a cohort program called Kernel. It's like an 8-week program where I'm going to be digging in. If I get accepted, I'll be digging in and trying to understand what blockchain is, what they believe it to be. They've written up a lot of material. In addition to that, I'm going to be picking up a number of different projects in this different blockchain ecosystem, touching on a lot of these concepts to really help dig in, explore, figure out what it is. And for those of you who don't have the time, or maybe don't have the know-how to explore, you can come here and explore with me. So strap on. This is going to be a roller coaster. We got a lot more coming for you. So every new token type or blockchain type, they almost all come with a white paper. So you sit down, you read the white paper to try to figure out what the authors or the designers, some of the original engineers, were thinking when they built this new technology. And you're flipping through and you're like, what is that, Greek?